In Movies and Money, The Batman is a box office smash. Joining us with more is film critic Erik Childress. Hello, Erik.
Hi, Angie.
Well, The Batman posted the second highest opening of the past 2 years, and it's pretty clear it's going to be a box office hit this weekend. How far can Batman fly?
Well, not only the second highest opening behind Spider-Man No Way Home, Angie, but with $134 million in its first 3 days, The Batman outgrossed every Warner Brothers film released last year during its experimental hybrid HBO Max strategy. Now, to your question, the answer, I think, is very high. For starters, it was a very good sign that the estimate actually had to be adjusted upwards of $6 million, suggesting there was no major decline over the course of the weekend, and the weekday numbers are holding up quite well, too. You mentioned a pretty clear runway, and that is very true. Over the next 2 weekends, there is nothing opening that should come close to challenging it. There's a possibility if attendance does fall off enough that the Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum adventure comedy, The Lost City, could dethrone it on its fourth weekend. Now, April does get a little busier, but by all measures, we will likely be seeing The Batman in the top 10 until at least Memorial Day weekend comes around. Now, Matt Reeves' film became the 63rd film in box office history with a $100+ million opening and now ranks 33rd on the all-time list. And if some warmer weather and less reluctance to go back to theaters for the masses are both factors, The Batman could have enough juice to be in line to cross $400 million just here in North America.
Some theaters are upping the price on big event films, including the one we just had this past weekend with The Batman. What do you think?
Yes, and it's funny because the two men held primarily responsible for the swing towards big summer event films, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, actually predicted this back in 2013. Now, Spielberg suggested that the increase in focus towards mega-budget films is going to mean fewer theaters overall, with costs that equate what a night on the town scene of Broadway show might run you. And here we are a decade later when AMC began experimenting with this on The Batman, possibly trying to take advantage of raised prices while everyone was talking inflation. But there were also reports that both Regal and Cinemark were trying this with Spider-Man back in December. They just didn't announce it the way that AMC CEO Adam Aron did. And given the seeming dire straits that were made of theatrical distribution during the pandemic, any attempt to try to bring in some additional money beyond raising the refreshment prices seems like a no-brainer. But I think there are more questions to consider for both theaters and moviegoers to consider.
What do you believe is ahead for the industry?
Well, for one, I'm wondering if theaters and studios may begin clashing on exactly how much they should charge and just how much our audience is willing to spend. I know I would rather seek out a suburban movie theater than one in the city, simply based on cost structures presently. Now add upcharging to that, and you are again probably isolating those 12-timers who are already very choosy about what they want to see. Look, we can all remember back to a time when movie tickets cost X, Y, and Z, and we have all adapted to that, even if we can see a direct confluence with raising ticket costs evening out the total number sold. Now, theaters can experiment all they want with the questions of higher event film tickets, but ultimately it may come down to the studios and the moviegoers providing the answer.
Thank you as always, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.